Hi everybody, welcome to this showcase. So I've got a demo that I've recently made for the Digital Herbarium, which is a project that I've published on Fab and other marketplaces very recently. Now this demo will allow you to obviously change the options and also load up 2 biomes that are available in the Digital Herbarium project. So if we actually load up the biome level, you'll notice when we load up, we get a few visual glitches. This is from the Nanite landscape itself. It's something that currently I'm still working on resolving. I think I'll just need to have sort of like a loading screen in between for the demo. But once you walk around a little bit, that Nanite issue disappears, and now we can see the landscape in all of its glory, which this is not the World Forge. This is a specific solution of the landscape for the Digital Herbarium project. And then we have the foliage itself, which in this demo is quite, obviously I've put some very large plants in here that I'm moving around. And as you can see, as I am moving with my character in, you'll probably notice that it is sort of affecting the foliage underneath a little bit based on the settings that I've got set up with the the legs of the character. So as I'm moving through this scene, I can obviously run around and look at sort of like the landscape puddles that are in here, combining with the landscape. We've got the foliage itself, so there are 5 different types of foliage within this level. There is this flower, this other grass point here, Phalaris is called, and then we have this other grass here, which is the most abundant. Then we have a horsetail plant, and then we have the fern, which you can see there in the background. Now, as we move through this scene, you'll be able to obviously notice in the demo just how everything kind of plays together. The Nanite foliage right now isn't 100% optimized as you'd expect. There are still things that Epic need to do. So I think with Unreal Engine 5.6 releasing, that will come into full fruition. I think we're going to get a lot more performance. So by default, the world position offset is being limited to a certain distance on this. Now, currently, all the foliage is casting contact shadows as well, and I'm not using the dynamic shadows because I'm trying to save performance. So as you can see, this is playing quite well. I think this is on a 4090, so I'm getting 60 FPS in the actual gameplay. I'm not sure if OBS is able to capture that specifically, but yeah, this is running a 60 FPS here. And as you can see, overall, it's a very beautiful scene. It's using TSR. It's not using any sort of DLSS or anything like that, although in the near future, I will be implementing DLSS in the demos themselves. Now, if we press P on the keyboard, we'll be able to see another menu here. So we can actually go into the options if you want to change these. Now, it says here it's 1920 by 1080, but actually the resolution on this is by default loaded with the one that's most appropriate for a system. So for this particular case, it will be this one here because I'm using a 1440p screen at the minute. And I obviously can put everything here to cinematic, although I believe it's by default loading Epic on everything. But changing these, not much has really changed in the scene because it was already using pretty much almost the max settings. But if we go to quit and then we select main menu, we can actually go to the grass level. So again, when we load up the scene, you'll notice that the foliage needs to spawn and there is a shadow glitch on the landscape, but that soon will disappear. And this particular level is just purely grass all over the place. So as we move around, that's all we're going to see, a massive field of grass. And then we're going to have this landscape sort of water spawning here, and then we have these areas here just above the water as well, which is all a landscape sort of a shader only. So you are able to get this with the Digital Herbarium as well, which is it's a nice, neat landscape that I created for this particular purpose, which I will also be upgrading in the future as well. But the as you can see over there, we did have a glitch, shadow glitch again, but now that I zoomed in, it disappeared. Again, I will add level streaming to this so we can actually load the levels and then get rid of these problems. And above into the clouds, we've got the Atmos Forge. Now, the Atmos Forge is not in the Digital Herbarium demo, but as I said, the plants, the landscape itself, all of that is in here, and you're able to play around with it. Now, I will be adding more plants to this pack, and I will then also add trees and other things like that. I've made some other videos showcasing the options that you get with all this foliage, but you can see it's got wind that's blowing, and it's got a lot of sort of like world level stuff going on. Like, for example, you can turn the entire grass field into snowy grass, and you can also turn all the grass into wet grass as well if you have rain or things like that. Obviously, this works a lot better if you have the World Forge as well, so I do recommend getting the World Forge, which then comes with a Digital Herbarium already inside of it as a full package. But if you're just interested in the foliage, then give this a go and see if you like it. I do want more feedback on this, so if people want to tell me what else I can do to improve it and other things like that, just let me know. But let me just open the project very quickly so I can show you what sort of like some of the stuff that's inside of it as well. And here we are in the level opened up in Unreal Engine. Obviously, this is what you're going to get on the from the Fab Marketplace without the atmospheres, like I've said. So you will get this landscape material, but just bear in mind that this particular material where you're seeing the puddles is not yet present within the Digital Herbarium, because I've not yet added the water system within that, but a recent, well, an update will be coming out that will be adding this feature very, very soon to it. So fret not, you will be getting this, but I'm still working on refining it and improving its performance. But yeah, this is going to allow you to have puddles spawned with the rest of the landscape, and it will actually blend quite naturally. So you will be getting, as I said, all of this. I'm just going to show you in here in the folder. You'll have the blueprint, you'll have the foliage spawners, you're also going to have a playable character with a first-person camera. The maps, there is going to be about 3 maps in there that you can play with. We have all of these materials for the plants and for the landscape, and you will have the 5 plants that I told you about, and also the textures that go along with all of this. Now, for you, you're only going to get the 4K version of all this foliage. Now, I would recommend that you actually decrease this to 2K or 1K depending on your needs, because 4K might be a bit too much. But I've added the 4K option so that people can downscale if they want to, because obviously it's 10 times easier to downscale than it is to upscale. So, well, actually upscaling would probably be impossible from 1K to 4K without using AI or something like that. But this is the project itself. So you can try the demo out and see if you like it. And if you do, feel free to get the project and look at that. Obviously, you can find all of this on Patreon. You don't actually need to go and get it on Fab, because for the price of a coffee, you can get all of my projects on Patreon, which I think is a far better deal than anything else. And you do get access to all the future updates that I will be releasing as well. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Keep creating.